I'm teaching myself hard lessons in hedonism. It's a weird way to start a video. I mean, I'm celebrating. I'm drinking a glass of wine. It's in the evening. It's beginning of December, December 5th. It's Krampusnacht, the night when Krampus would come and terrorize and punish bad little children. Such a scary, well, all the old European fairy tales are fucked up, and that's why we love them. Um, anyhow, I'm celebrating the fact that it's the end of the semester, and for the first time in my life, at least for the first time in my life as a college and then master's and then PhD student, it's the first time in my life when it's the first time that at the end of a semester, I don't have to be freaking out about papers. I'm done with coursework. Holy fuck. I'm done with coursework. It's really hitting me now, the fact that I'm done with coursework. I finished coursework in the spring semester. Well, I had an incomplete paper that I had to write over the summer, but it's really hitting me now like, shit, I'm done with coursework. And even though I should have made more progress on my exams, I didn't do shit for my exams this semester. I've worked out plans for next year that will help me take care of those exams and then move on to be ABD, which means all but dissertation. So ABD is just when you're done with coursework, you're done with your exams, and your prospectus for your dissertation has been approved. So that's the lingo, and that's generally how all PhDs in all sorts of different fields work. I know the hard sciences are kind of different, but in general for humanities, PhDs, and social sciences, you start off with coursework, and then you go through a period of exams, and then you have your prospectus approved for your dissertation, and then your ABD, and it's all about writing after that, baby. So this time next year, my plan is to be ABD. So, cheers. I hope everyone out there watching this has a reason to celebrate and is celebrating. Well, one good reason to celebrate is 2016 is finally almost over. I'll get to that in a second, but this is just going to be a catch-up video. It's been probably going on 3 weeks since I've published a video. And I feel like half of the videos I've made this semester have been catch-up or I'm still alive, don't worry kind of videos. It's been crazy. So yeah, on the one hand it's a catch-up video, on the other hand it's a kind of 2016 wrap-up video. And talking about what my life hopefully has in store for 2017. So, where to begin in all this? I guess let's talk about 2016. 2016 sucked ass. It was terrible. Lots of cherished celebrities died. Celebrities, authors, things like that. There was more or less a coup in Brazil when a right-wing government took over from a left-wing government. They impeached Dilma Rousseff, who was the president of Brazil, and they installed a more right-wing conservative government. And call me a crazy feminist hippie liberal, but right-wing and conservative are never good things in my playbook, economically and socially, so there you go. What else happened politically this year and socially? Right-wing government installed in Brazil after impeaching the left-wing female president. Brexit happened. the shooting at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando happened, the deadliest attack of that kind. And it was specifically targeting queer people of color, which just like opens, it should open everyone's eyes to a lot of shit that our culture needs to work on. But anyway, Brexit, Pulse nightclub shooting, DAPL, the North Dakota Access Pipeline, which yesterday the world received the good news that for the time being, they cannot construct the pipeline there. So a salute to all the water protectors out there doing the hard work, freezing their asses off in North Dakota to like do the right thing. But still, that went on for months, and it was ignored by the mainstream media for months because everybody was distracted by whatever the fuck Trump tweeted that day. And it just, the fact it went on so long and it was ignored so long says something too. More shit that our culture and society needs to fix. And when I say our, I'm specifically talking from within the United States, but also from within Western, like a more broad understanding of Western culture and cultural dominance and economic dominance, which has roots in colonialism and slavery. So there you go. That's where I'm talking from. Yeah. So the North Dakota Access Pipeline going on for months and months and months. And, like, of course, the U.S., Trump. That's all I'm going to say about that. So yeah, 2016 has fucking sucked ass. I'm very excited about 2017, although I don't think many of the issues in 2016, I don't think they're going to be resolved, much less get better in 2017. Like the impact of all of these things, and I'm sure I'm leaving out a lot of different other events around the world that have contributed to 2016's suckage, but I don't think it's going to get much better. But what does or will give me hope is the people who are still standing up to all this bullshit. Like all of us. Standing up to all sorts of different forms of oppression. The fact that we'll still be standing is what gives me hope. Hope for a better 2017, better at least in the sense of strength. Yeah. So going from the macrocosm to the microcosm of my individual life, I'm going to be 29 on December 21st. So last year of my 20s, before I hit the big 3-0, I really enjoy being a grown-ass woman. I really, really enjoy being a grown-ass woman, and I enjoy being treated, like the grown-ass woman that I am. It's a shame that our society in general, on the one hand, infantilizes women. Like, we think women are dumb and they can't do anything on their own unless they have a guiding hand of the man in their life, either their father and later their husband. But on the other hand, we also sexualize underage girls. So it's like, you can't win. So anyway, I feel like finally now that I'm approaching 30, I'm treated as and respected more as a grown-ass woman. Paying my own bills and doing work and getting shit done. So it's really nice. I can tell that I've matured a lot. I mean, by the time you reach 29, you look back at who you were even just a few years ago. Like when you're 25, 26, it's, at least for me, I can definitely say I'm a different, stronger, better person. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I have lots and lots of ideas and projects for 2017. On the academic hand, I briefly mentioned a few minutes ago how this time next year I want to be ABD. So I have a plan for getting my exams done. In my department, and every department in every field is different as far as how they take care of PhD exams. But in my department, I have a major field exam, which will be US Latino Studies, or Latinx, performance, cultural production studies, with my advisor, who's amazing. So that would be my major field of study, and that major field was just recently approved in my department because my department is super just arcane and out of date and only supports canonical literature, aka white men's literature in Spain and Latin America, you know? So the fact that they're now recognizing Latino studies, Latinx studies as a field is big, and that's all to do with the work my advisor has put in. So that's my major field, but then my two minor fields are different. So for my major field, I'm going to have a reading list of 80 to 100 works. These works are going to be either novels, theoretical books, chapters, short stories, poems, anything like that. So a work could be as short as a 2-page poem, or it can be a whole 400-page novel. So I have to read 80 to 100 of these works for my major field exam. A lot of them I'm hoping I will have already read, but I'll read the rest because they're all going to help me in my dissertation ultimately. Now, my two minor field exams, each reading list for those is somewhere around 10 to 15 works. I think the minimum is 10. Usually it's around 12 or 13. So that's another 20 to 30 works that I will have to read and then be tested on. And the test is a take-home essay. Basically, the professors and your committee for that exam give you a question, and you have 48 hours to write as much as you can about it. And then you go in and have an oral defense of the exam. So the spring semester, I'm hoping to take care of the two minor field exams, and I thought that I would have to do colonial Latin America and medieval Spain for my minor field exams because I've already taken a class and written the paper. I've written the exam portion for the medieval requirement, minor exam. But the problem with the colonial is that my current department does not have a colonialist, a Latin American colonial specialist. That's a big gaping hole in their faculty. So my advisor has been talking to the head of the department, and it's finally, I just found out a week or two ago, it's been approved, or they've approved a slightly different route for me to be able to take exams in fields and areas of interest that will actually help me. So instead of taking a very canonical colonial Latin American exam where you have to read Cabeza de Vaca and all these canonical colonial works, instead of taking that exam, I might be able to put together a reading list and work with a professor in the English department that I've already worked with before and put together a performance theory reading list, because I work a lot with performance theory. So I could work with her and do that. So I just found this out a few weeks ago, and that's partially why I haven't made any progress so far, even though I was supposed to on these exams, especially the minor field exams, because all this shit was in the air, and I knew that my advisor was probably going to, fudge the rules a little bit for me so that I can, instead of doing colonial, I can do something that would better serve me, So Yes. So the 2 minor field exams I'm going to have done by May. That gives me a whole semester to study for, prepare, and take, and then defend the exams. And since I won't have a teaching methods course like I did this semester, I'll have more time to be able to do that. This semester was particularly hard because I was forced to take this stupid teaching methods course, which was a bunch of bullshit, and every student in there, we signed petitions to the department, we did whatever we could, but we just couldn't get out of the stupid requirement. So yes, the second language acquisition teaching methods course. Second one I've taken, and both of them have fucking sucked. Anyhow, that's how you know you're cheap labor for your department and the university. Because they get all the graduate students to teach the lower level language courses so that none of the actual professors, have to do it. Research institutions. Anyway, whatever. It pays my bills and puts food in my belly. So I'm done with that class. Thank God, hallelujah. That's the last class I'll ever have to take ever in my life. So next semester I'm not going to have to waste my time and effort on that, which will open up more time for me to take care of these exams. So May 2017, I have my 2 minor field exams done dizzle. Then I'll also by that time have the reading list approved for my major field exam. So that gives me the whole summer and the whole fall semester to take that exam and prepare my prospectus. Interesting thing, my husband is graduating this academic year, or at the latest by June or July of 2017. He's on the job market. So I have no idea what our summer is going to be like or what part of the world we're going to be in by summer of 2017. Because he's not a US citizen, he's here on a visa and all that shit, and a very complicated type of visa at that. He has to simultaneously defend his dissertation, finish writing it, apply for jobs and do job talks, which his first job talk is in a few weeks, and I'm going with him. I'm really excited to support him. But he has to do job talks, defend his dissertation, make a decision about where he's going to work, assuming, and I hope, please gods of the, please universe, I hope he does get a really good job offer somewhere. And then he also has to extend his current visa and go through all that paperwork, which sounds pretty complicated, and defend his dissertation, graduate, and move wherever he's going to be working. Now, worst case scenario, he doesn't get a job and he has to go back to Chile, in which case I'll be spending the Northern Hemisphere summer in Chile, which means it'll be winter down there. But I really do think he will get a job offer. He's applied to lots of different universities. He comes from a very good program. So, come on, universe. Make it rain. We're tired of being poor grad students. I want a real income. Anyway, $7 wine. I want to be able to splurge and buy $10 wine. Woo, Anyway, so summer's going to be pretty hectic, but in all that chaos, I will be reading and preparing my major field exam. And another goal I have for next year, calendar year, I want to prepare a paper and submit it somewhere to be published. Whether it's published or not, I don't know. But at least I want to prepare it and submit it. I think it's been a few years since I've gotten academic work published, and so it's time for me to submit something else, because the job market, especially in the humanities where department budgets are tight, the job market can be pretty gruesome. So I really have to make my CV, my resume, as competitive as possible. So if you already have a few publications, especially if they're in journals and you're the only author, or even book chapters and anthologies, that looks really, really good. So I already have 2 articles. The first one, I was the second author, and then I have another one, which I published a couple years ago. Anyhow, so I have that already, but I need a third. I need to show that I'm persistent or consistent. So that's another goal that I have for next year, academic-wise. So one thing that has helped me to put all of this together and to really create a picture and a timeline, a doable picture and timeline for next year with all of these different goals and all these different sources of chaos in my life. What's really, really helped me is planning. Specifically, I have started my very first bullet journal. Now, I know the bullet journal phenomenon is already like an online community and people get really, really into it, and I promise I'm not going to turn my channel into a bullet journal channel. There are other people who do that much better than I do or could. So check out their channels and all that if you're into it too, but I cannot deny how much, just in the past few weeks since I've started, how much it has helped me to create that picture and timeline, to believe that this is feasible. And also it's been really great for my anxiety. And I have a page. Let me make sure there's nothing personal here. This is let me cover this up. This page over here is my December, what I call December at a glance, but it's, in your typical bullet journal fashion where you have the days and the dates of the whole month just listed down the page, and then you have all your appointments, and it's a month at a glance. But over here, I have just a doodle page, and I really like just having a doodle page for every month. As you can probably tell, I suck at drawing because I seriously have not sat down just to color and draw. Well, I color some those adult mandala coloring books, but to actually draw and then color what I've drawn, I haven't done that since, Jesus, I was in middle school maybe. So, yes, so I apologize for the crappy drawing skills or levels that you see, but hey, it's going to get better the more I practice it, and it's a really great creative outlet, speaking of coloring and doodling. So I have a list of the books I want to read, a reminder just to chill the fuck out, love is a doing word, the type of journaling that I want to do, and this includes a bullet journal, a financial journal that I've put together, and a moon journal, which I'll have a future video about. The moon journal has to do with this drawing, which if you follow my Facebook page, you've probably seen. 2017 is also the year of the uterus for me. Sorry, my husband texted me. He's on his way to teach a GED course to Latino people in Georgia because he's awesome. Anyway, so yes, so this is my doodle page. I have some quotes. One quote that I really liked that I've incorporated in my weekly spreads is from Miss Arwen Lynch at Tarot by Arwen. She talked about this quote, which was actually taught to her by, I can't remember who, but it's what wisdom do I need to carry with me into the day, which is a great prompt for a daily tarot card draw. So I have it here. I have survive the holidays. December's YouTube videos that I want to make. This is the first one. And then a quote from my husband. It was actually from his friend Miguel, who told it to him a while ago. El tiempo es la única cosa que puede matar las posibilidades. So time is the only thing that can kill possibility. Something to meditate on. So yeah, I have month at a glance. I have doodles and goals, reading lists, habit trackers, and it's helped me a lot. It's a great way to hold yourself accountable because I'm the queen of making a to-do list and then ignoring it and then not doing the shit on the to-do list. But if I make a commitment every morning to go over my bullet journal and see, okay, what is the shit I need to get done today? What really needs to get done? What could I put off or migrate to tomorrow? It's just made planning and journaling fun. And I love how it kind of crosses those two genres, let's say, of planning, but then also journaling and recording your life. It's a great way to do both things in one book and also use it as a creative outlet. And yeah, just use it to get shit done. So I do plan on having a more detailed video about my first steps in bullet journaling and specifically how it's helped my anxiety, and even more specifically, the perfectionism that is both a symptom and a cause of my anxiety, that little vicious circle. Being okay with making mistakes and viewing this thing as practice and something that's just for me and self-expression, it's been great. So I do plan on making that video and publishing or posting that before Christmas / Yule. I also need to do a review of the Tarot Apocalypsis. Holy crap, I love that deck. I'm so glad I got it. Actually, I have the computer sitting on top of the book for it. Awesome. So I need to review that deck. And I keep promising to make a, my anxiety, what's helped me kind of video. And I actually took notes on it the other day, so everything's set up. I just have to find time to sit down and record it. So that's coming up in December. And then in January, for January's doodle page, I want to put up in January more details in what I mean when I say that 2017 is going to be the year of the uterus for me. And this has to do with the book I'm currently reading called Red Moon. I think it originally was published in like 1994, but it's all about menstrual magic, basically. It's an interesting book. I have some issues with specific paragraphs and sections, but overall it's been an interesting book, and it's really helped me to like fucking realize and commit to my uterus next year, like commit in more generally to physical health, to working out, to actually establishing a workout routine, because it's been years since I've done that. Yeah, to really making that part of my self-care routine non-negotiable. Self-care to me is non-negotiable. Like, I don't try to make room in my schedule for self-care. I make my schedule around self-care. Like, that's what I mean by self-care. It's non-negotiable. It is my time that I need to survive. So the big piece that has been missing for a while in my self-care routine is physical exercise, regular physical exercise. So I'm going to touch on that a lot in that year of the womb. video. I'm also going to include a review of Red Moon, the book I mentioned, and then we'll see from there. One of the books that I have lined up for me to read in January is this one. It's in Spanish, but it's Women Who Run with the Wolves. I read probably the first third of it already, but then I lost time, I lost track. I put the book down, didn't pick it up again for a year and a half. So I'm starting all the way in the beginning, and I'm so excited. I know this book is like a legend in the witchy pagan feminist kind of community. So I'm so excited to be reading this. Plus, it's great that it's in Spanish. A friend of mine gave this to me actually, just to keep my Spanish in practice. So super excited for this for January. So yeah, so that's my life. I've been talking for over 30 minutes now, so I'm gonna stop. Again, salud to all the water protectors. It's a great little, well, not a little victory, huge victory, but I just hope it's not a temporary victory. You know what I mean? Anyway, I stand with Standing Rock. Tomorrow, there's another protest on my university campus to get the fucking university to finally declare itself to be a sanctuary for, you know, minority students, minority understood in the widest possible way, but specifically for undocumented students on campus, so I'm participating in that tomorrow. And yeah, I'll see you the next time you see me. I will be in Georgia talking about my bullet journaling. So I'll see everybody in a few weeks. Enjoy the first few weeks of December. It's great Yule time. My birthday's coming up, Christmas, Yule, the solstice, celebrating light and life in the middle of the darkness of winter. I love it. Okay, bye everybody.